First speaker tonight is Melody Da Silva. Her project title is I Spy with My Little App. I Spy with My Little App. Please welcome Melody Da Silva.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. How many of you use apps on your phone daily? If you're not raising your hand, you're probably lying. Thank you for being truthful. As we've all come to know, there is an app for almost anything. Aside from the everyday apps like banking or texting or online shopping or things like that, I also personally use an app to control the lock of my front door, to control the lock and everything in my car because I drive a Tesla, and I even keep track of my kids, and I earn an income using apps. There are a few crazier apps out there that you might not have heard of. One particular one tells you where the cleanest restrooms are in public. You never know. Another one that you might want to use is something that helps you to get out of an awkward phone call. It will play a fake sound like a knock at the door, a baby crying, or even a swarm of bees attacking you so that you can get out of the phone call. Or there's even one that's an electric razor, literally a picture of an electric razor that buzzes like an electric razor. But what if I told you that one app in particular, which we know several of them do, actually spied on me, and it publicized something that I bestowed upon nature? It was a horrible act. Typically, the Nextdoor app is known for keeping up with people in your neighborhood, reporting a lost or found pet, or even into little drama about who is parked in their unassigned parking spot. My mom really likes to send me a link in the Nextdoor app whenever she sees something that she thinks I might be interested in my neighborhood. This time, it wasn't about a lost or found cat or dog. It wasn't about a bear on the loose. It was about a bunny. The post started out with, yesterday, I found a dead rabbit lying next to my car. I'm not sure how he or she died, but I really want to know how to dispose of it properly. I was intrigued. I clicked on the member's name, did my typical stalking, and I noticed that yes, this person does live in my neighborhood, and they live on the street that I drive past every day to get out of my neighborhood. Before I went on and read more of the, before I went on and read more of the comments, I did a little more stalking on this person, and I realized they were a doctor, no less. There was a doctor in my neighborhood that was trying to figure out how to dispose of a dead bunny. I was hooked on this comment thread. It seemed hotter than the time that Billy accidentally mowed into 1 inch of Sally's yard and the police got involved. People on the internet can be quite creative. There were suggestions to build a tiny coffin for the bunny and take it to a nearby cemetery and give it a proper burial. There were other suggestions to build a fire, burn the bunny, take the ashes and make it into a necklace so that he would always have the bunny close to his heart. One of my favorite strings of comments was about how bunny meat could actually be packaged to eat. This reminded me of a phrase that I had seen recently that said, if you want to make a habit, eat some rabbit. I almost expected somebody to offer to make bunny stew out of this bunny. Instead, the doctor called animal control, who quoted $200 to dispose of this rabbit, which he said was way too much. Thump, thump. Suddenly, my mind went back to the events the night before. I used my app to get into my car, used another app to lock my front door, another app to get directions to my Toastmasters meeting. I'm driving out of my neighborhood when I spot a bunny to the right of my car. I tried to not hit it. I promise you I did. But then I heard thump, thump. Not the bunny, please, not the bunny, please just let it be a pothole. I know we have a lot of potholes in this neighborhood. Don't let it be the bunny. I stopped, I looked in my side mirror to see the bunny. It was definitely a bunny, but it wasn't dead yet. Instead, what I saw was the bunny, front paws, hopping across the street, back half flattened, dragging its body behind it. What in the world was I seeing? I couldn't even believe it. I thought this was a thing of cartoons. I went on to tell my friends about the story this evening in fits of laughter to keep myself from crying because that poor, not quite dead, half-flattened bunny. Well, thanks to the Nextdoor app, I no longer have to wonder what happened to this bunny. The doctor was able to update everybody and tell us all what he did. He put on some gloves, he picked up the bunny, put it into a trash bag, put it into his trash can for collection the next day. He said it was disturbing, but at least it was free, and he said a little prayer for the bunny as he dumped it. I felt a sense of relief that the poor bunny was at least out of its misery. And despite the horror of my accidental murder of this bunny that I endearingly named Stu, I was happy to know at least what happened to it, so I no longer had to wonder. I am so thankful for this Nextdoor app for telling me what happened to this bunny, even though it did blast my accidental murder. At least now I know I'm not gonna have to wonder if I'm gonna find a dead or a half-flattened bunny in my neighborhood dragging the back half of its body through. Just remember, even when a stranger leaves you half-flattened, there's always a good doctor who's willing to put you in a trash can. Thank you.